When I first came to Oasis, I felt kind of lost. I had been moving around for about a year and a half. I was basically at my way's end with money and people to contact or places to go, and I needed to know where I can go immediately and someplace that was solid, not just for the night.
I was with my mom and dad until the age about 13, and then they separated. Me, my mom, and my two brothers were actually shelter hopping.
I was struggling. I've left state because of stressing out with my family, not having the support or having things that I need for myself.
I'm 22, I have a 7-year-old daughter. I lived with my mom and dad for a little bit, and then they split up. I remember us, living in a couple of shelter homes, and I remember social workers coming to the house often.
Last week, I had a youth come in. Her plan is to work enough to buy a car so that she can live in her car. Oasis is a drop-in and resource center for youth in the southern suburbs.
The youth that utilize Oasis are usually between the ages of 16 to 22. Some of them are couch hopping. Some of them have absolutely nowhere to go.
We really focus on employment, we focus on health, we focus on education, and of course the big one is housing.
I know of at least 4 or 5 kids in the last year that ended up in a homeless situation, where they were looking to live with someone on a team, whether they were some of them were living in their cars. So just in my little perspective, I know 4 or 5 kids.
What we see at Oasis is that some are homeless, some are unstably housed, some are housed but are needing other supports.
A lot of young people that just have nowhere to go, so they utilize Oasis as like a hangout spot, or in between jobs and they have nowhere to go and just needing somewhere to take a nap. Homeless youth, they look just like anyone else. They're in schools, they're at the malls, they're hanging with friends. They try to dress and seem just as normal as anyone else.
In my old world view, I thought that a kid might be homeless because of some choices that they made, maybe some bad choices they made along the way. And now when I look at even just these 4 kids that I know, they're great kids, and it was nothing that they did that caused them to be homeless.
I have had some this year where it has been an unstable family situation, and Oasis was actually able to find this student temporary housing during a time in their life that they wouldn't have known where else to go.
I had no money in the beginning to get to work, so they would help me out with transportation of getting to work, and as soon as I started coming here, everything with my life has gotten a whole lot easier.
We have volunteers here that help young people, get to food shelves. So they're able to carry, large amounts of food home, or if they're staying with someone, it's helpful to have free food to bring back to that house.
I got enrolled in school with the help of Oasis and got my child care thanks to my case manager at Oasis.
It's more than counseling. They'll bring in bags of clothes for the kids or snacks, or in that student's case, provide housing or navigate work situations or help a student find how to access their social security number or birth certificate, critical things that a student needs to apply for financial aid or to apply for a job.
It's really hard, getting jobs and stuff. There were times where I'm like, I can't do this, or, when I was really at rock bottom, but they've helped me get to where I've wanted to go.
I've even had a youth tell me, you guys are like my only family, and they literally come here every day. They look forward to our meals on Tuesdays. They look forward to, sitting down with a case manager and working on their goals.
Oasis, in a way, does feel like family because my friends come here, and my friends go through the same problems I do, and I'm not judged by them for coming here.
When I met the case managers, kind of thought they were looking to get in my business at first, but they show that they care and they want to help. They give you a reason to want to come back to Oasis, and then with the help that they do provide, you want to come back.
In the suburbs, there's virtually nothing available for young people as far as programmatic housing, supportive housing.
I strongly believe that transitional living program and emergency shelter is a need, a must. It's hard, you know, it's just not having or having lack of those things makes it difficult for me even as a case manager.
So the hope is that in our plan at Oasis is to expand to emergency shelter and to transitional living so that we have those options.
When I first met the family, I was just kind of in a shell, but as it went by, I realized that they were kind of nice people and goofy people like me too. I started to get comfortable, and then I tried to picture myself being there, and it just felt right.
She has an address, she has a place to live, she has a family who cares about her, she's building a great relationship, and she's developing skills for life.
I can actually focus on future things like going back to school or getting a license or focusing on career planning. I just sat on the bed and I just felt like, you know, this is final and no more worries.
I would definitely encourage the community to support Oasis. It is a resource for these kids who live here. They've grown up here, this is part of their life, and it's the area that they know. So to be able to stay in that community, maybe stay at the job that they've already been working at for 1.5 years or 2 years and have some history, but find a place to live, is critical to them moving to the next step.
These young people are coming from, you know, Bloomington, Hopkins, Edina, all these suburbs where homeless youth do not exist.
I really do see it preventing a student from having to live on the street or end up in jail or end up in a treatment facility or a group home. This might really, I see it saving lives.
I just offered. I was like, hey, can I paint something for you guys since for helping me out? They wanted a logo type deal, so I painted this. It's more of like a puzzle. Oasis puts everything together with time, and that's how I feel about it. Yeah.